Hey, Carol, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Good.
Hey.
Hey, Tracy, can you hear me?
Hi. Yep, I can hear you.
Great. Okay.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well. I hear congratulations are in order.
Oh, yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
You just turned 7 weeks, so time's just flying by.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's his name?
Leo.
Leo?
That was my grandpa's name. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Angela, did you get my email this afternoon?
Yeah, I did. And I had remembered that
Okay.
Bob had said he wasn't going to be here. So.
Yeah.
So Kelly is, who else is going to be on, just so that I,
Me and Will.
just you and Will. Oh, okay.
Yep.
And so are we going to get another member, or is Ken?
Ken should be here.
Oh, okay.
Should be here tonight.
Okay.
So you guys got the email from Mara. So we're looking at 5,
Yeah.
discussing 5 tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody ready for the cold and the snow? No?
No.
It's good to get really cold from what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of crazy cold.
Yeah.
I put on my rain gear this afternoon and went out splashing around just to get the grocery shopping and everything done before the snow crazy crowd hits in the grocery store. But it was a splashy day.
Yeah. Was the store crazy?
No, it was remarkably quiet. It was worth getting soaked.
Well, good for you.
So it's after 5. If you guys want to go ahead and start discussing, then, Ken can join us when he is available. That'd be great, but we might as well start our pre-work session.
Sounds good.
All righty. So our first one is a public hearing, historic home, well, in the historic district, 441 Oakwood. Did anybody have comments on this one?
Since it's a non-contributing resource, I think that, what they've planned is fine. It's nice to have shelter over the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, historically, I wasn't sure if that was accurate or not, but that I saw a house on South Elm near near Jackson it's on the west side of the street that has a similar porch.
Hmm.
And so to me, it didn't look out of place at all. And so I was
Right.
going to suggest that it, it fits in with the neighborhood, and I didn't have any objection to it.
Great.
Yeah. I
Tracy,
didn't have
same.
any comments either. Yeah. I noticed that the picture of the construction and the actual drawing didn't quite align, but I mean, it's the same
not.
idea. I mean, it's close enough.
Yeah, it's right. I noticed that too. And I guess, yes, Carol, I thought exactly the same thing you did. It's non-contributing, and then it looks like it goes with the house. So that's what I thought too. So that one, I guess nobody has any comments then. All right. Then we have some pre-approvals, and we move on to 450 Somerset with the rear porch.
This one was a little hard for me to understand the scope of the project, kind of what is new, what's existing, and what we're looking at.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And I thought that the renderings were attractive,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a difficult time with the elevation and the site plan with the line weights and such. I couldn't tell what really they were doing or dimensions or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
Carol?
Yeah, I wanted just a little more clarification about the arch that was set, the photo, and exactly the slight modification to our drawings. My wife and I are considering
Oh,
making
yeah.
the opening
I
of
don't
the
know where-
outdoor room. I just wanted to clarify exactly where that's going to be.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
had the same
right.
comment.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's, but similarly, that I think the renderings and everything look nice. Just a few clarification questions maybe are in order.
Yeah.
Hi, Ken.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can.
Mhm.
All work, all,
We are on
Okay.
450 Somerset with the new covered porch. So we already briefly discussed 441 Oakwood. None of us had any comments on that one, so I don't know if you
I
do.
I was gonna approve it as submitted.
Okay.
What address are we on?
For 450 Somerset is where we are, and I think all four of us felt that the renderings look nice and all, but it was, I think we're accustomed to seeing more architectural drawings rather than renderings that would describe the project a little bit differently
Yeah.
than just visually, so that there's
Yeah.
some text of what the materials are and so forth.
I'm cool with that one, with or without the arches. I thought both ways worked, so.
Were
And
you
it wasn't a construction document, I can grant you that, so, okay.
clear, Ken, on where the arches were going? That was one question that we all had.
Yeah.
I thought it was those long horizontal,
The actual
yeah, they're
porch.
gonna be very long flat arches, and technically it might be
Okay.
tough to pull off, but, which is probably why they did it without the arch, but that's where I saw it going.
Okay.
You had the two brick piers and I didn't measure it, but it looks like a 15 or 18-foot span. And I thought they were talking about doing just a flat arch there. But are they gonna be at the meeting?
Yes, I believe so. I would assume so, because they're not.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah,
discussion.
they received the reminder email that they needed to attend.
Yeah, I
Okay.
still don't understand the arches, but yeah, they're nice drawings, but nice render.
Like, it looks fine without arch too, so, I guess.
Yeah. So, right, I think that we need some clarification on the materials, if for no other reason, so that everybody's on the same page with what these materials are when it comes to construction time. Okay.
You just
does
want
anyone-
them to, they got like a visual nod, and when they finish the drawings, send them in as architectural plans. I don't know, whatever you want to do. I'm good to approve it, but
Okay. Are there any other comments on that one?
Just more clarification comments about it. It looks like the door might be getting infilled, and I was curious if that was going to be stucco or what that was, how the infill, or if it is an infill, I guess.
Right.
Just
That's-
scope questions. Yeah.
Yes. I feel as though I have no idea what's new, not no
Yeah.
idea, but it's just hard to say. And the renderings make it all appear as though it's all just there,
Hmm.
which is lovely. Makes
Yeah, it looks like it goes together.
but,
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll move
Well,
on.
maybe the rest is live.
960 Tuxedo is next. This is a rear.
Did we Jackson?
Yeah.
We just did Somerset, now you're going to Tuxedo.
The next one that we're going to discuss is 960 Tuxedo, the rear deck.
The Jackson one got a pre-approval.
Right.
I just had a little clarification question on this one. Presumably, the guardrail style they want is the style that's on the hand-drawn elevation that's drawing 3 of 3. However, the deck.com drawings has a different railing style. So just was interested in a little clarification on that. And it looks like their elevation, they're intending lattice, and that is not on the other drawings as well. So my only question on that was just a little clarification.
Yep. I had the same comments on the railing, and then I was going to suggest maybe leaving the lattice off because it is pretty high.
Yeah.
It would need some intermittent support.
Support. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my comment as well. I think the soccer ball is going to go through it and you got a mess on your hands, so.
Yeah.
Well, there's
True.
that.
And it actually
Yeah.
does look like there's a window into the basement below that area. So they might want to maintain some light in there. So we can just maybe ask them what they have in mind.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, I wondered the same thing and in particular with that lattice, that's pretty tall. And I don't know, maybe it's that they want to hide what's ever going to be back there. They don't want to, sometimes it doesn't look really very nice. I have no idea.
Yeah,
But
maybe they're going to use it for like some sort of storage, like garden
Yeah,
containers or
right.
whatever. So
that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what they want, but I guess I'd like it open just because it seems like a little critter place to me. All right, so. Let's see. 136 Waymire is our next one. This is the one with the carport changing to a garage.
The only thing that I was wondering is it looks like at the front door, they might be having new columns, like the iron columns, and they're just drawn with lines. I don't think they drew all that detail in between, the posts of the iron columns, but it doesn't look like they're symmetrical. Like it doesn't seem like they're landing on the corners of that new concrete pad at the porch. So I was just going to ask about that if I'm reading the drawing right.
I wasn't sure if they meant for all of those columns to be new, or they call them out as some of them new, but I wasn't sure what that was all about. But
Yeah.
and then if they wanted to, if that was going to be incorporated into the railing, or how that all was going to work too, I was kind of wondering.
Mm.
I was wondering about the overhang on the side there at the carport. They show it so flush, and I don't know if that's, kind of why they're doing that, or if that's just maximizing their space, or.
Mm-hmm.
Carol, did you have any comments?
I really didn't. I can see where some clarification might be needed on those columns. I just drove by there and it looked pretty straightforward, but you know, clarification is always good.
Yeah.
Mark?
So I didn't really have any comments about it.
Now, I didn't really have any comments. I was kind of curious about the age of the roof and if they'd be able to get the shingles to match since it looks like it's flush, but as far as what, you know, the addition, I didn't have any concerns with it.
Okay. Okey-dokey. And then our last one is a preliminary, which I guess we might as well discuss because we have
We have
15
time.
minutes. Might as well talk about something.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love this house.
It's a
And I-
different one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I normally, it just sends me through the roof when I see a garage door like right on the front, but to me, this one fits. And because you don't have another house on the other side, you've got the highway. You know, I think that there's a case to be made that they change their address. So that, you know, the address becomes Lucille instead of, what is this, West Side? Because that's where the front door is gonna be, but
Hmm.
in terms of the look of the house, I think it's great. A question about what the facade material is.
With stucco? Did I see that someplace?
I
Yeah.
remember
I
seeing
didn't
that
know if
in
it was all stucco or.
I was wondering that too. If there
It
was,
is, if that styrofoam block that gets, the core gets poured, they put a ephes type product or stucco over is what I'm getting, so.
Mhm.
I was a little curious about the materials construction on the sunshade. Just, you know, out of curiosity, I think it's a really nice looking house. And I think that contrasting color band really makes it. I think that's a very nice touch.
Yeah, it would be nice if that band hit the windows all at the same elevation. It seems like the window heights, head heights are kind of not all at the same elevation. And you can really pick up on that with that banding, hitting it at different, you know, it's kind of intersected at different dimensions. So it would be nice if that kind of, everything else is so clean. It would be nice if all that was clean as well.
especially there's just a few that are very close to it. It's okay where they're off, but where they're real close, it
Yeah,
seems like it should either line up or not line up.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, I guess I was kind of curious a little bit more. I feel like I didn't get what all the materials were. Otherwise, I like the house too. That was neat. And in particular where it is. Yeah, I thought that was kind of
And I also have a
neat. I
question
like the
about
roof deck.
the location of the clear story windows on the west side, I think it is. I don't think they showed up on, if I'm not reading this correctly, point that out to me, but on the level 1 site plan,
Yeah, you're right. That the windows don't show up in plan.
Yeah,
I think they're up above the cut plane.
I think so
Makes it
too.
a little-
Because I noticed that. I was kind of
Yeah.
looking between elevations and their three-dimensional drawings. And it looks like they have a door coming out to the roof where they don't have a railing. Is that right?
I kind of questioned that myself. I didn't know if it was like a service access door, but seems to me like maybe there would be a conversation with the building department about what was
Mhm.
going on there. Already had it, and we can ask them about it.
Right.
yeah. Because if it's just to access the solar panels, then I can see why, you know, you might not
Right.
be required to have it there, but
It's just a question.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that you can do that you know, say, oh, it's just for this. I'm not sure if you can do that, because that's a safety issue. Anybody, if anybody can walk out onto the roof. What's that, Ken?
Say by code, it would be an access panel and not a man door without the rail. But that's
Yeah.
the building department.
Yeah, well, so I guess what I was wondering is if they're required to put a railing around there, which would be kind of unfortunate, I actually think, but what they would do. I suppose you could put a little railing at the door and, you know, do one of those things where they put it across in front of the door or something.
If I can jump in for a minute, as far as the cattle guard is what we call them, that from what I know, Webster doesn't allow those. And if this is like a regular egress door, they would need to have railing. You can't just call it for,
That's fine.
yeah, you can't just say it's for a mechanical issue or solar and not worry about it. It would need the rail.
So would they be able to, well, I guess we'd have to ask them what they're thinking for that. But I was kind of thinking maybe even just then maybe a small space or something. I just don't want, I like how they have it there with the roof deck on the other side. To put the railing all around would be sort of like, but.
So you just hop the railing from the other side too. So Will, if they change that door to an access panel, would that take care of it?
Oh, yeah.
Or eliminate
If
the
it-
time over the railing to get.
If it doesn't look like a regular egress door,
That's what I think. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it may, you know, they could always make it like one of their, I assume these are casement windows, these huge casement windows. They could just make it like that and step out, right?
right?
Can we kick back to 234 East Jackson? I didn't completely understand what the commentary was. Like, that was the one where they're talking about aligning the window in bedroom 4 with the master bath window above. But that would require them moving the closet in that room, wouldn't it? I don't know who made the comment, so I'm asking.
Just a minute, I will. Does anyone?
I had a comment. Oh, I had a comment that the bedroom 4 west elevation windows do not match the plan.
Oh, okay.
So
So
I
it was just a
wonder if that
coordination.
yeah, I wonder if they decided to align them.
So then that's how so they had two choices
order
in
to
a
do
way.
that, the closet in a way, so that's why I'm asking it. Just, I didn't have any problem with the way the one was shown on the elevations. I didn't pick up whether that was in agreement or not in agreement with the floor plan, but I was just curious how that came to be, that's all.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what, yeah, I was just pointing out that I noticed that they didn't match and which one was right.
Okay. We weren't trying to dictate something. Just wondering- I got that one open. Now that I know what the comment is, I'll take another look so I understand it. I kind of see what you're saying about the elevation and the plan don't agree, but if they did it either way, it wouldn't make any difference to me, so.
Right, yeah, I was fine
I-
with it either way too, but just so that we knew kind of what we were getting,
Yeah.
that they knew.
If it were a sin, I'd just go to confession and get rid of it. My concern there was, where are they gonna put this closet if they have the closet in a room probably in its best location, so. I'd rather
Yeah, I
they,
guess they
don't-
must be moving it out of the way or something. Must be reconfiguring something.
those people are not gonna be at the meeting, or
I wouldn't think so.
you don't think so? I don't think so either.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that pre-approval people are ever at the meetings.
Could we approve it based on the elevation, saying that window placement's okay? As well as the written part?
I assume this is what they want to do, so we'll just approve it with what they want to do? Is that,
Yeah, all right. It's confusing.
Maybe they had a discussion about some interior rearrangement, and since we're only concerned with the outside, perhaps that's why it's not in the motion about what's going on inside. Just, maybe that's it.
We're all guessing is what the conversation was, but it's not, I mean, not a big deal one way or the other.
I didn't realize you're at work, Mark.
I am, and I'm one of the last ones here now, so. I'm in about 1 or 2 days a week, so
Oh, yeah.
we're trying to stagger people, so we're not all on top of each other, and it's so far working out really well. We just moved to the Foundry.
Oh,
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
Well, the space is fantastic. It's just really quiet. We moved from
Wow.
Del Mar over here, and none of the food hall and everything else isn't open yet. So the space is fantastic, though.
When you say
Nice.
you're talking down near Slough,
Right. So we're in one of the newer buildings along Forest Park Parkway, and right across the way is the old Foundry building where the food hall and the brewery and some of the other entertainment spaces are going to go.
That'll be a fun spot to be once life gets back to normal.
yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
everything's weird now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, it's strange.
Hey, Mark, I saw you were speaking on a USGBC event.
Yeah, is it tomorrow morning?
You know what? I didn't look at the date. I just saw your name and I was like, oh, how about that? I read what you were doing.
Yeah, it threw my mind because it was somebody from Mobot who was setting it up. But yeah, you're right, it is USUC, right? So I'm doing that and then doing another one right after that for Christner. So it's all about the Brick Line Greenway.
That's really cool. What time is that tomorrow?
One of them is at 10 and one of them is at 11. I'm not sure which is
Mhm.
which.
Mhm.
Mark, I'm noticing your video is frozen.
What's that?
You're talking, but you're not moving. There.
Uh-oh.
Now you're there.
Oh, you're okay on my
Yeah.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on this too, so.
I get nervous. We've all been there, right? Where
Yeah.
you're
Right.
saying something and it's like the most profound thing, and then you realize that your internet is gone. Your Wi-Fi is totally shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. Most profound moment of your life and it was
I know.
frozen.
That usually happens from home.
Like the commercial where the guy didn't have his volume on.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think we're close enough. If you'd like to open up the meeting, let's go.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Architectural Review Board meeting. We have Kelly Campbell and Will Penny from the city are here. And then we have Carol Donkey, Tracy Collins, Mark Vogel, and Ken Burns. And I'm Angela Thompson. We're volunteer architects, landscape architects from the city of Webster Groves community. We have several pre-approvals tonight, so we'll get, first we need to do the minutes.
Mhm.
Anybody have any comments on the minutes?
No, no comments.
I mean, I'm not voting on this one is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
Ken was not here, so, okay. Do we have a motion for the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the January 21st minutes as written.
Carol, did you say something?
Second,
Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. I guess there's just three of us, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, that is enough. So the January 21st minutes are approved. And so now we'll go on to several pre-approvals. The first pre-approval is 501 Lake. Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve 501 Lake as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, 501 Lake is approved. The next one is 415 Spring. Do we have a motion for 415 Spring?
Motion to approve 415 Spring with the understanding that the middle windows on the east elevation will be centered over one another and that a window will be added to the future master bathroom.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, 415 Spring is approved. Next one is 1353 Webster Path Drive. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 1353 Webster Path Drive with the clarification that the roof overhang will extend 1 foot on either side to fully cover the deck on the west.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right. 1353 Webster Path Drive is approved. The next one is 154 Slocum. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 154 Slocum with the updated information on railing type that was received on February 4th.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All righty. 154 Slocum is approved. Then the next one for pre-approval is 234 East Jackson. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve 234 East Jackson with the clarification that the chimney / vent stack is being removed and that bedroom number 4 window will align with the master bath window above, and a skylight is being added to the bathroom adjacent to bedroom number 5.
Second,
Second.
All those in favor?
aye.
I'm going along. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, 234 East Jackson is approved. And then our last pre-approval is 417 Rosedale. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve 417 Rosedale with a clarification that the 3 vertical windows in the west elevation are intended to align with each other.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, 417 Rosedale is approved. Okay, so we'll move on to the public hearing for 441 Oakwood. Do we have someone on the line for that?
Raise your hand if you're here for Oakwood. Okay, I should have Pat Moriarty.
He's on.
And anybody else? Catherine, are you just listening?
Catherine is on as well, probably just listening, yes.
Okay, all right. Oh, she raised her hand. There we go. Okay, I got you both.
Okay. Hi. Let's see. We do have, this is a public hearing for this one. Does the board have any comments at all? Anyone?
No.
Okay.
I was comfortable. It is, so I'm ready to approve.
So this is a public hearing. So is anyone online that would have comments? Okay, so I guess that means there are no comments. So do we have a motion to approve 441 Oakwood?
I'll make a motion to approve 441 Oakwood as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, that's it. 441 Oakwood is approved. Thank you for signing on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so our next one for discussion is 450 Somerset. Do we have someone on for that one?
Do I have anyone on for Somerset? Is that Doug and Steve, it looks like? Hold on.
Yes, Doug Dolan's here.
Hi, Doug.
Hello, Angela.
Steve Hunsaker's here. Steve Hunsaker's here. I don't know if you can hear me now. Okay.
Yes, hi. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
All right. So Doug, you're the homeowner, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Steve, you are
Architect.
the architect. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we did have just a couple of comments. Would anyone like to start?
I think it might be helpful if you guys could just describe the scope of the project. The drawings were a little bit hard to understand kind of what was new and what was old. So we just want to make sure we're looking at and reviewing the right thing.
As far as the scope, currently the back porch is an open porch that sits kind of in a knuckle there in the house. The living room looks out to the backyard, and then there's an addition on the back that houses a kitchen. And the new covered porch would go over what is now the current concrete porch. It would all be new, but and then a pool would be eventually constructed in the backyard with a new fenced-in area and landscape. So the scope of the project is really just the covered porch and the pool and landscape in back.
Okay. So what modifications are you making to the existing structure, if any, to attach the covered patio portion?
None. The covered patio is going to be freestanding, and we would just be touching the existing building with expansion joints.
Okay. So is there a door that's being infilled?
No.
There's one area
there-
that, yeah, north, I guess on A2, there's an NS section, north-south section. And it looked like there was a gray panel that maybe a door was located. That's one thing I was confused about.
Oh, I don't know. We did have an option. We were looking at an option of putting a door in the existing bay window,
Oh,
but I think they've opted not to do that.
Right.
okay.
Okay, so the project includes the brick columns and the brick surround that is the same as the home, existing home with the same detailing and so forth. And then the chimney, the whole fireplace, chimney, whatever, structure.
Yes. Yeah, the brick is intended to match the original house. The addition is a somewhat of a match to the original house. There is a little bit of variance in the brick color between the addition and the original house. So we'll have to figure out what a proper brick blend there would be.
Did I hear you correctly? You said the structure does not touch the house?
Right, we're gonna basically structure it off of the 4 or the 6 independent columns and then extend cantilever the structure from the last column set 2 feet over to the house within 4 inches of the house. And then we will just use an expansion joint to cover the last 4 inches.
So it's not structurally touching the house, but it does connect to it.
Yeah, it's going to touch the house, but it's not dependent on the house structurally for any reason. Yes.
And then there was a comment about possibly doing arches. I assume if you did an arch, it would be with regards to the front view elevation of the existing house that has not a long flat arch, but just 2 little curved sections at the end of the
Yeah,
horizontal
we've been talking
span.
about that with the owner, just the way the arches would work there. He has, the front of the house has arches over all of the windows. The rear of the house does not, but the addition on the kitchen does have shallow arches across the opening from the kitchen, which you can kind of see in that A2, 2 on A2, you can kind of see the archways in the photograph that's kind of superimposed on that section. And the owner is interested in potentially mirroring or making arches similar to that on the openings on the south and the east elevation. So we're
arch would-
debating that.
Elevation of the house,
Pardon me?
that arch you're proposing, would that be a long flat arch, or would it be just a segmented corner thing like you see on the front elevation?
It would be just a shallow segmented arch with a soldier course like the front elevation.
Okay, my comment on this was I'd approve it with or without the arch. That's your call as far as I'm concerned, so. All I have.
If I could just clarify that. So there's in your photos on A4, the Northwest Street view, you can see that window on the addition with the arched sides. Is that what you're talking about?
Hang on, I think I pulled up the wrong file and
Upper left-hand corner.
on A4. Sorry, I had the wrong file open. Here we go.
All right.
Sorry. Okay, yes, so the photographs on A4, yes. There are arches over those windows. They're just shallow segmented arches.
Mhm.
And that's the type of arch that we would be looking at for the porch addition if we were to do that. So Doug and I have been going through a few scenarios on how those arches might work. They're a little complicated, of course, because obviously all the openings are different sizes and we've been just debating that look and feel of that. And at this point, I think he's still interested in pursuing it. So it very well could go that way.
Okay. Well, we have to sort of make more of a, our approval is basically on a particular design.
Sure.
So,
Why
Go
can't we
ahead.
just approve it either or? Both work.
but he hasn't
We're limited.
decided what the either or is. So we can't just say that, he has to have, if we can, Steve, do you understand what I'm saying? We would
Sure.
need to know what we were approving, like what
Right.
it is you would be doing with those arches.
Yeah, and I think that if we decide to do the arch, we would definitely resubmit. But at this point, this is our submittal. And if you would approve this, we would at least know that this works. And if we had to, or come to the conclusion that we want to do arches, we would submit a revision, I suppose, to you.
Yeah, right, okay. Because I think that would be fine.
Mhm.
So we would be submitting this one with the understanding that all the materials that are shown here match the home and the details match the home. Does anyone have any thoughts on anything else we would want to say about the details of this?
I think it's a really, really attractive project. And I agree that it's a good approach to resubmit if you decide to go with the arches. Given the variety of opening sizes, I would really like to see how it would lay out drawn if you decided to go with the arches, and how that would coordinate with that strong horizontal band. So, I think it looks great as is with the submittal we have in hand, and it's a great idea also, just for clarification, if you decide to modify with the arches to submit that.
Yeah, I think at this point, if we decide to submit with the arches, we've looked at moving the south column to make 2 equal size openings on the south elevation to make the arches look right. And then we would just have arches and openings on the east. And so that would probably be how we manage that. So we'd have a little bit of an asymmetrical structure to deal with, but we can make that work. So.
And this, if I could make a quick comment, it's Doug Dolan. Ideally, from the owner's point of view, we had to delay this project because we needed a land survey to show that the setbacks were met. That took about 8 weeks to get this survey, which was fine. And then we had to wait for the next meeting and such. The hope was, of course, to have this up started by now. Are we outside our bounds to have as what they're called, shallow arches? My wife and I are going back and forth on the shallow arches, and it seems to me anyway to be a very minor cosmetic item on the back of our house. But the idea of waiting another month or two to get back on the agenda for this board would be somewhat of a hardship.
Well, if you get this approved, you got a lot of time before you get to building that arch. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to slow you down at all.
Right, so
You could do it in tandem.
yeah, you could begin because you would have this approval. So you would have the
Oh, okay.
general idea approved, and then you can start going. And if you have, so people sometimes do resubmit projects when they have revisions, but you would have an approval already on this design. Well, if we vote that way. So
Sometimes those approvals are done by staff if they're minor in nature, and I think based on the
yeah,
conversation.
so when things are minor, the staff will approve it and so forth. And, say you decide not to put the arches, you're fine. You can just keep going or whatever. So, and, considering you're not even sure exactly where they'll be or that they'll be there, it's kind of hard for us to approve something that you don't have a design for. So
Okay.
I don't see it taking I don't really know, but you have to go through that process. I would think construction could go along to some degree,
We have to prepare construction documents and submit for building permit. And so we would, if we have the arches we elect to do the arches, we would basically submit to you as we're submitting for a building permit for the revision. So
Yeah,
in order to save time.
yeah, so I wouldn't, exactly, so.
Okay. Understood.
um,
Yeah, that makes sense. That's helpful. Then, in other words, the building permit can still be, it can still be done based on your approval to tonight. If we choose to do some minor mod later, we can address that at that time.
Right, so
Yep.
it shouldn't be so long. I know that construction often takes much longer to get started than people are ready for. So it can be very frustrating to homeowners, but you've made it pretty far so far, so.
Yeah. Good. Well, we're excited about the project, so, and love living in
Well,
Webster for 18 years, so it'll be great.
it is, I agree with others who have said it looks beautiful. It looks great. Wonderful, wonderful project, it looks like. So, nice addition to your home.
Great. Thank you all.
I do have two quick questions, though. The first one is with the location of the skylight and the ceiling fan. How is the ceiling fan attached? Is there a cross member or what's?
Yeah, there's actually there's a column that lines up and a beam that runs along the back edge of the skylight. Yeah, that ceiling fan just sitting in there as a placeholder for looks, but yeah, we would definitely be attaching it to structure.
Okay.
And it would probably, I'm not sure how it would work with the skylight. We might want to adjust it so we don't get the strobe effect of the skylight with the fan coming, with the skylight coming through it. So yeah, we have some adjustments to do there.
And that's not something that would affect the way that I view the project. I'm just curious if it's been thought through. The other question is with the roof, is that a flat roof like with pea gravel or something, or what's the intent there? And the question is really about how it drains. Are there downspouts, gutters?
So if you look at the photos, the garage that sits to the west and the kitchen addition that sits to the south, both of those are flat roof structures. And the kitchen addition basically has a through parapet scupper.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
That comes out on the east side. We are going to pick that water up and pull it across our roof. And our roof will basically have a 1/2 inch per foot slope to the structure. And we are going to use just a TPO membrane roof on our roof as they've used on the other two roofs. So both those flat roofs have membrane roofs on them now, white membranes. So we would have a white membrane on our roof as well. And we would then just carry that water off to the east, and we're picking that water up in a gutter system that'll run down the sides of the chimney. And we'll probably have to pick that up in 2 yard leaders that'll take it to the front yard, to the front
Thank
curb.
you.
Yeah.
I had 2 comments as well. I was curious what the underside of the ceiling material is.
We just quickly showed like a beadboard or something. We
Okay,
haven't
that's
really
kind of what I
made
figured.
any decisions on what that might be. We might use an exterior soffit material like, a dense glass board and a EIFS plaster coating as well. So depending on what they want, we don't have an insulated area, so everything's going to be subject to outdoor temperatures, and we don't really have a condensation issue. So
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm looking at on A2, the view from Southwest, number 3, and that corner column on the left-hand side. I'm wondering if there's a way that we could align it with the edge of the brick above, kind of like you did on the other side. I was just curious if there's a reason we're pushing that in. It'll have a
A2,
corner lintel. It's kind of a funky condition right there.
where A2, where the barbecue pit is, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
well,
brick up
we
above
have
is just
pulled-
kind of floating.
There's actually a column, if you look close in A3, there's a column sitting back in the corner between the bay window and the window from the kitchen. And so we have just a straight structural line running out there. And again, as we look at these arches, we may find that we need to create more of an asymmetrical structure there and pull that column out to the corner in order to pick up an arch. So, but it was just a simple structure. So we basically have 4x4 tube steel in these columns. And then we're going to basically just run a tube steel beam to the column that sits back in the corner. So basically, if you think that the structural line is set off of the east elevation of the kitchen by a foot or so.
Yeah.
And so that's why that column lines.
Okay. Mm.
And we just had turned it so we could align the parapet, so we could kind of go back and tie the parapet back into the existing building. But that could be adjusted too. We could adjust the parapet back toward the column, or we could just a column out to the parapet corner.
Yeah.
Again, this was just quick schematic stuff we did and submitted it. And so we have not worked through some of those details of alignment on that particular corner yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, does anybody have any more comments? Okay, so then I guess I would like to know from the board, is everyone comfortable with the notion of the home and the materials and the details that we can see from the drawings that we have?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. All right, then for what, I'm sorry. Do we have a motion for 450 Somerset?
I
I'll
make a
make a
motion
motion.
that we approve as submitted.
Could we have a little addition to that so that people know what we've approved?
What they submitted. We none of us came up with any changes that we were going to mandate that I'm aware of.
I think if we could add clarification that the brick is to match the existing, that was one question that I had that we clarified that I thought was important to note.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think,
Approve as submitted with the clarification that the brick will match the house.
okay, I think that's sufficient.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? All right, 450 Somerset is approved. Thank you very much for signing on with us tonight.
Thank you too.
And
Thank you.
good luck.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next project for discussion is 960 Tuxedo.
So anyone with tuxedo, please raise your hand. Is that Ken? And anyone else? So Ken, can you hear us? Hi, Ken. Can you hear us? We're not able to hear you at all right now, sir.
I see somebody else raise their hand.
Let me go there. Oh, I've got a Bella. Hold on just a moment. Bella, can you hear us?
We can hear you. Can you hear us now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Sorry.
We're new to this. I apologize about that.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. We're here. Ken and Jay.
Ken and Jay. Okay. And you are the homeowner?
The owner of Bella Landscape and Construction. Ken is my right-hand man and construction manager.
All righty. Well, welcome to the Architectural Review Board. I think we just had a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Whoever would like to go ahead.
One question, on your hand-drawn elevation, drawing 3 of 3, it shows one guardrail style, and then your other drawings, the deck.coms drawings, show a different style of guardrail, and we were wondering which one you were intending to construct.
We're using both the same handrail on the entire deck.
Okay, is it as illustrated on your hand drawing? Because that drawing has posts with
hand.
caps, and then the deck.com drawing does not.
Yes. The hand drawn.
The
Yeah, the
hand
hand-
drawn.
Yes, the
Yes.
hand drawn.
Okay, okay.
We're learning here, and sometimes that program gets kind of wonky on us.
No, that's fine. You know, things are wonking all over these days, so we understand. We're just getting a little clarification. And then also too, I think there was some discussion about enclosing the underside of the structure with lattice. Did you have like particular intent to put storage or living space or anything under there? Or what were your thoughts for how that space under the deck was going to be used?
Yeah, we were told at your office that day we went in and dropped our drawings off that you guys are the ones that needed the lattice installed under the deck.
That's kind of a case-by-case basis. You know, we see that you have some windows into your basement, and when there's windows or doors underneath there, or if there's a patio or living space, then the lattice isn't necessarily something that needs to be installed. But if it's a situation where it's just like unfinished concrete and mud, then the lattice is preferred. So did you guys want to have the lattice or no?
No.
Okay. I mean, I personally am okay with that.
Okay.
I mean, we just got approved to build a retaining wall and a fence. So, I mean, we're definitely beautifying the entire backyard, and it faces the creek in the backyard. So that was the one thing that basically held us up throughout the whole project, because the other approvals for the other permits were immediate through you guys. So it was just a basic stipulation on the lattice.
Okay, well, you know, I can't speak for members, but you have windows into your basement down there and you don't want the lattice and it would darken that space. I mean, I personally am fine if you would prefer to forego that. So those are my comments.
Yeah, I would have,
Not do the lattice improvement without, it's a better project without the lattice.
yeah, I would agree, given the height.
Agreed.
Okay. I agree as well. The height of it is the big thing for me. You know, kind of the dark little hole, like Carol said, is not good when it's put off the ground, but here you're a whole story off the ground. So, okay. Tracy, did you have any other question? Or I'm sorry, Carol, were you finished? Or, okay. Tracy, did you have any other
No.
things? Mark?
No comments.
Ken, you're good?
All righty, thank you.
Oh, well, we'd have to vote, sorry. Do I have a motion for, oops, for, where are we? 960 Tuxedo.
I'll make a motion to approve 960 Tuxedo, with the understanding that the guardrail style will be the style shown on the hand drawing numbered 3 of 3, and that there will be no lattice enclosure below the deck.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No?
All right, now 960 Tuxedo is approved. Thank you very much for.
Thank you guys very
attending.
much. We appreciate doing work with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any of you guys need any work, you call us.
Okay, 136 East Waymire.
So anybody with Waymire, there you are. Quentin, hold on. Okay. Quentin, you're still on mute. Oh, there you go. Can you hear us?
I can.
Great.
Good evening.
Hi, Quentin. All right. Let's see, was there someone else? It looks like there's another hand up. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yeah, just a moment. And Michael Frazier, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good. Okay, and do we have the homeowner or who is everyone?
No, the general contractor and the architect.
Okay. All right. We'll open it up for discussion from the board then, some comments.
Yeah, I just had a clarification question on the front elevation. It looks like there's new, or I think that there's new columns going in on either side of the door.
Yes.
Wasn't sure if, yeah, okay. And then are those, I assume you're gonna put those on the corners of the new concrete pad
Correct.
equally? Okay, because it looked like maybe one was shifted over and it wasn't quite symmetrical, but it sounds like maybe that's just a drawing thing, or I wasn't reading it right.
Yeah, they're spaced on opposite sides because it's a 15-foot wide garage with a 10-foot door, so it's going to be centered symmetrically in front of the garage.
Okay, but the columns are at the front door, or the front man door into the house. It looks like there's new columns drawn.
The man door. So
How about the port?
there were two existing
Okay,
columns there, and so what we did was they're adding a new porch there, so we're moving, relocating the columns to keep them. One of them moved over from where it was because the porch expanded. So it's totally 4 columns that will be matching.
okay, okay. Got it.
Anything else, Tracy?
No, that was the only thing I was just curious about.
Okay.
Thank
Carol?
you, Tracy.
No, I'm fine. Good.
Mark?
Yeah, I just had a question about the roof line. So this intended to be flush with the existing, is that correct?
Correct.
And so just curious about how old the roof is, and do you think you'll be able to get the shingles to match?
It's a brand new roof.
Okay,
The roof is less than a month old.
okay, so you'll be able to get the exact same style and color to match.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
be- Okay, that's
Yeah.
the only other question I had.
Ken?
I'm ready to approve.
Okay. All right, I think that's it then for questions.
Angela, did you have I thought you had a comment during our work session, or was I?
Oh, I was just curious about the roof as well, but if it's all new roof, I noticed that actually after we were looking at it. It says that it has a new roof there. So it's kind
Yeah, okay.
different.
Just want to
So-
make sure that you got your comment in too.
Thanks. I would often forget, so that's helpful. Okay, let's see, where are we? Do we have a motion for 136 East Waymire?
I'll make a motion to approve 136 East Waymire as submitted.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, 136 East Waymire is approved. Thank you very much for attending.
That's the
Thank
new
you.
driveway and the garage.
I'm sorry?
Was that the new driveway and the garage?
That's
We
for
don't-
garage only. The driveway will be a separate permit. It doesn't,
All right.
driveways
No
aren't
review
approved.
board? All right,
Driveways aren't approved by ARB. That's separate.
all right, give the garage. All right, so we
Yes,
good.
sir.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, y'all have a nice night.
You too, thank you.
Take care.
All right. 306 West Side.
Okay, I have several here.
That's Gary.
Gary,
Mhm.
William, and Melanie.
Yes, correct.
Can everybody hear everybody?
Well, I think so.
Yes. So Gary, I'm the architect, Gary Karasik.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
And William?
Designer, whatever else, kind of project manager.
Okay. And then we have a Melanie as well. Is that,
She might be just listening.
okay.
She's the owner.
We were having a resident who was interested in listening. This may be her.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, well, welcome to the board.
Thank you.
And this is a preliminary review for your project. So I'll open it up to the board for some discussion. Tracy?
Yeah, I was curious about the exterior materials. Is it all stucco?
It's our intent to use stucco as the majority product. This is a ICF house, which is an insulated concrete form. And so we can apply that directly to the exterior foam. We actually have looked at a couple different ideas where for instance, the sunshades above the windows and the projected little pop-outs of the windows in 3 places. We did consider a possible metal type of product. I'm actually using Corten steel on a project in St. Louis right now. This would be an accent idea for that. And then I think William wants to talk about another more artistic approach to the exterior.
I'm really not supposed to talk about it because Melanie doesn't like it, but
okay.
I did a lot of research on Josephine Baker and found an Adolf Loos house that was designed for her. And I originally wanted to use porcelain tiles on the building and do horizontal stripes, black and white. But Melanie, I think she probably thinks it's a little too extreme, but it would mimic the Josephine Baker house that was supposed to be built in Paris in the 1920s. The house does have a resemblance to that house. I don't think it was Gary's intent to copy it, but it does pay homage to the Josephine Baker house that was going to be built. So that's where we are.
I think most of the people on the board are impressed with the house and everything else, but it sounds like you've got a lot more decisions to make before we would really be in a position to approve it. I mean, that's my opinion. I was with other members of the board.
Well, I tend to think we'll use the ICF product and we'll probably use EIFS or stucco. That, because basically I think it's really down to color choice. I don't see us using the porcelain tiles. We just finished a garage using porcelain tiles and it worked out really well, but it was very tedious. And I tend to think the EIFS would actually be a better product for this house, especially given
So
the
if-
size of the windows.
If you do tile, you're gonna bring it back. So is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Would that banding also be EIFS?
Yes, yes. And I was listening to the preliminary discussion today, and yes, the band needs to be looked at again in its proper placing. I definitely agree, and we have to kind of line it up or make it a little more right.
Yeah, a little bit more
Appreciate
intentional
it.
about where those windows
Yes,
fall. Yeah.
yes, appreciate
So
Sounds good.
we were concerned about the windows because we were told in the beginning there had to be all windows on all sides of the building, and in some ways, I think the design of the windows was really kind of important to the design of the building. So we ended up putting windows on all sides. So
That was at the request of the building department. It wasn't the original
Yeah.
intent, actually.
Which I think is a good decision. I mean, it
I
looks
think it's a good
nice.
decision too.
Yeah.
Just make sure that, you probably heard the comment then, make sure that the placement of the windows is reflected in the plan views, level 1 and level 2 on the west side.
Mhm.
Those higher clear story windows don't really appear on the plan views.
Yes, you are correct. We did add those late because of the comment, so I regret that it didn't get on the plans.
How many windows would you not put in if you had the wherewithal not to put them in?
We originally were not going to put them in on the west side, which that's where all of the narrow windows are on the west elevation. So that's what we added. We only actually had one window on the west side. That was the one in the middle, the vertical one. But we're okay with that. I mean, they're in interesting places. The one is the master closet. The one is the garage on the triples. And the one at the south end is bedroom. So, we're fine with it.
Yeah, I think in terms of the address, I heard the preliminary, and I think we'd like to keep the address on west side as opposed to moving it to Lucille.
With the driveway coming in on west side.
Driveway coming in on that side.
Yeah, that was just a comment. That has nothing to do with our approvals. I was just, when you're directing somebody to your front door, it might be confusing, but
We don't have any say on that.
no, we don't.
Right.
So, let's see, Carol, do you have any comments?
No, I think it looks great. I mean, I think it really looks nice. So have you made any decision, or are you still deciding about where you're going to add metal instead of the EIFS?
Well, on the plan, there are 3 projections, the little triangle projections that are windows, one in the living room, one in the actually the master bedroom garage, master bedroom closet, and one in the above the garage, that's in the master bedroom. Those projections, that's what we looked at, doing a different material as an option. They kind of cantilever beyond the, the wall in those 3
Okay.
places.
Okay,
So-
and then, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So that's why we were looking at a change of material.
Okay, and then you mentioned that possibly on the sun shading devices?
Yes, yeah. Can you see me or not?
No.
No? Okay, I have a color rendering that you could look at I didn't know if that was available.
Dang, I wish it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure we can do that. Can we do that, Kelly?
No.
No.
And he's only it's a stationary picture from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is that, does the metal you're considering, does it have any sort of texture to it or?
Corten steel is the product that was used on the Sarah sculpture in downtown St. Louis, the famous Mark Twain one.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's it's a rust, it gets to be a very dark steel, and it's basically rust. It never goes away. So it's a very durable, almost no maintenance once it rusts itself out. And so, yes, we thought about using that on those sunshade canopies, and then those 3 projections. And I have those 2 little canopies that are above the front door and kind of one on the back that come off of that upper little penthouse area. That could also be like a Corten roof. That would actually be a roof, not a wall.
So I think Corten is a beautiful material, but with the second floor projections, how would you prevent that from staining on the wall below it, and the one on the above the garage may drip onto the driveway itself as well?
Well, that is true. It will do that. It can discolor after it goes through its aging process. It does stop actually coloring. So I guess that would have to be something that we need to take care of in some manner. I don't know that I have an answer to that fully. We're aware of it though.
Yeah, that was one comment that I was thinking of too when you said Corten. I could just see it bleeding where it.
Yeah. That we may be able to create a little trough kind of thing that actually allows it to drain to one spot or something and then down. All of them actually empty. I mean, right below them, it's all kind of gray ground. It's not necessarily concrete or sidewalk. But point well taken.
So what about the main roof? Is there a band of flashing?
The main roof would be a TPO, just a TPO roof, and then we would turn a flat, just a metal flashing of next up against the wall. So we're not planning overhang on the main roof. That upper little penthouse would have a soffit of a couple feet. Yeah.
Okay, so that's just like a probably painted. So I apologize for that, by the way. Painted steel or something like aluminum.
Yeah, it would. I guess if we do Corten, I guess we would look into something that would maybe match close or something, or else match the stucco. I guess that would be our 2 choices.
Oh, okay.
To that, yeah.
Okay.
I also heard you all talk about the fence on the top of the roof, and I think the drawing probably showed it wrong. We really don't want to use a picket necessarily. We probably use a stainless steel cable type system with a rail on top, or maybe a tight grid, a 4-inch type grid pattern, so that would make it a little bit more airy than just the pickets. And yes, the other side is a solar roof, and so we could do an access window there instead of a door, and that would be fine.
It was the solar panel system in with the plans, because I think they were supposedly sent over.
Oh, no, I don't think we submitted that, William.
Yeah, because I talked to them this week, EFS, to see if they would send us.
Oh, I see. I don't know.
I guess it didn't make it.
No, we don't see that here.
Yeah. Well, we have the plans finished for the roof. I can send them over.
Okay. So any other comments? Carol, was that?
That handled everything I was thinking about.
Tracy?
No other comments. I guess we just need to decide if if there are changes made, if we need to, I know this is preliminary, so maybe we just wait for the actual submittal to make a motion.
Yeah. Right. It sounds like, yes. Well, Ken, do you have any more comments?
I'm kind of
sorry?
reading the instruction as well. There's maybe core 10, maybe not, and you obviously a lot more drawings going to be done here to make it a construction document. So, I mean, a preliminary we can not sign. Are we thinking about approving this completely?
Not really, no. I'm not. I'm thinking that no, that we're not. That there's a few decisions they need to make. I think it sounds like, I just want to make sure everybody has the comments to them. If we have any comment, that we have that for them for the preliminary, 'cause that's the point of the preliminary, for them to know what we think of their design and what might be a problem when they come to get it actually voted on. So Mark, do you have anything?
Just wanted to thank him for the architect statement on the cover page. I thought it was, a really good explanation of what your design intent was, and it really carried through. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So just from the building department perspective of the solar panels, when you do resubmit, make sure you submit the positioning of your solar panels on the drawings, because ARB will want to take a look at that, see where they're positioned.
Okay.
Yeah, the nice part about it, we're just finishing a flat roof house in the city, and it has solar panels on, and they're working already. You can't even see them. They just totally kind of disappear, which is great. I see a lot of solar panels on houses, and they just don't look very good. But these actually, it's nice because they're at such a low level that they just don't show from street view.
Yeah, it is. A flat roof does make a difference in that case. That's for certain. Okay, so this is preliminary. And so I think that we've all given a few discussion points. I think most people actually quite like your design. So probably not many things you need to change, just a few decisions to make sure those things are on the drawings and we know what materials everything is and all that kind of thing. And yeah, so, and we will see you the next time, or well, the next meeting when you have your drawings ready.
Okay.
And if you are planning on going to the next meeting, if you get me revised or completed drawings decision-wise by next Tuesday, we'll be able to get you on to the next meeting.
Great. Wonderful.
Thank you.
That's great.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Good
Have a
night.
good night. Bye.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry. Okay, is that it then, Kelly?
I'd say so. If you want to adjourn us, that would be great.
Great, the meeting is adjourned. Good night, everybody. Have a good couple weeks.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Look at it. They all really liked it. It must be kind of something different. Is it? And it must have a flat roof. So. Oh, is it the whole thing a flat roof?